Okay, this is the Dark Valley from GMT Games. It's the East Front campaign 1941 to 1945. This is the situation. The end of turn 13, which is July 1942. Main area of activity is in the south. Germans have transferred all their air units south, and they're using the 1st Panzer HQ here as the axis of the attack. They are making steady progress in the south, cleared this area south of the Dnieper, those lake areas and marshes, so they're moving forward there. They're also pushed forward very from Dupranova, whatever the pronunciation of that is, deep into the Russian sort of rear area. The only problem is the Russians are shifting. They're actually shifting faster than the Germans can advance in places. So they are refusing their flank in the south, and they're still maintaining enough units to hold up the Germans. I think that there's a bit of a danger point here for the Germans, for the Russians. They could end up with a lot of units encircled if they're not careful there. And so the evacuation of this area all the way up across the river here to Mariupol is going to be fairly urgent. They get rid of that, that's already been played. As we go, we're going up north, there are still gaps appearing here, but the Soviets have got a lot of units coming down from the Moscow front, which will fill in the gaps along this line, which is not the actual Axis line of attack. We're still aiming for Stalingrad, but we're a long way away, and we're running out of time to do this. We've got a clear turn and a mixed mud turn, then mud. We just got to grab as much territory as possible. If we could at least get to Rostov, which is our initial objective in this offensive, and maybe if we can't reach Stalingrad, to actually move north to Voronezh there. There are options, but we're just going to try and push on to Stalingrad if we can at the moment, because the objective is to try and get rid of this Soviet replacement factor thing. That's something that's a bit, oh no, sorry, just ignore me. In the central front, it's pretty much static, where the Soviets are putting on, they're keeping a large number of German units pinned down there. They're not really making much in the way of attacks. The problem is they haven't really got a proper attack kit. They've got the Zhukov combat kit, which is a combat kit, but it's only effective for units which are actually within the command range of the Zhukov HQ. Otherwise, it's an attack jet, but you're attacking it as if you're out of supply, which is not a good idea, because it gives you a significant DRM penalty for doing that. Up in the north, the Germans have managed to push forward a bit, getting closer to Leningrad. They're still quite a way away. The Russians might just pull back and consolidate along this river line here. The problem for the Germans is attacking through this area. It's marshes and forests and stuff like that, and you're starting to run into the Leningrad outer defence perimeter, these red zones here, with red sort of hash markings in them, and they give you, the Soviets, a benefit when attacked in those positions. So all in all, the Germans are making progress, but nowhere near enough to achieve our limited objective for Blau, which it pretty much goes the way the initial Barbarossa attack made. We made a lot of territory, but we didn't reach anywhere near like a significant tipping point to give us a chance of a victory.